Making molehills out of ALPS. ALPS is a big mountain to climb. What we've done at Toyo Gakuen University, my colleague and I, we've created a second-year course, and my colleague is going to talk all about it. It's called ALPS, Academic Learning and Professional Skills. She will talk about why we've devised it the way we have and how we're trying to help our already successful language learners become more successful. After my colleague has spoken, we will actually hear from 2 students, which is far more exciting than listening to me. Okay, one thing that I would like to think about throughout today is how can we use what we know about successful language learners? Please don't answer that question now. Please think about it throughout today's conference. And I'd like to pass over to my co-presenter, Sarah.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to just give you a brief background as to what we're doing at Toyo Gakuen and the ALPS program. As Andy said, we already have successful language learners. We are lucky we have some really exceptional language learners. They're very good, and we wanted to provide something extra for those students. So we came up with some basic points, some aims that we wanted to have for the class. We wanted to develop specific skills for academic business reading and writing, to develop listening and speaking skills that will help the students discuss modern day topics, not just the topics that are in relation to their everyday lives, but be able to talk on a wider sphere about global problems, global issues, politics, things like that. Research. We wanted to give the students numerous research skills so that if they did go into an international company or move overseas to study in a British university or American university, they'd have the skills to be able to conduct research, and we wanted to start this from as early in the program as possible. We also wanted to give them presentation skills and opportunities to present, which is why we have 2 of our students presenting today. We wanted to covertly introduce the students to other exams, such as BULATs and IELTS. We feel that these are particularly useful examinations as they get the students to actually output. So we've been covertly training them to be able to take these kinds of tests throughout the course. And basically the general gist is so that the students have knowledge and creativity to survive in the modern world, that they have the skills, the mental processing skills, the creativity, the confidence to be able to work successfully in their future lives. So how does that fit into our university? Well, all students in the first year have what we call Kiso Eigo. It's the basic skills course, 4 skills. And this is split between the 2 different faculties, Faculty of Business Administration and the Faculty of Humanities. And the students are split by their course level and the course that they take. In the second year, they move into Oyo Eigo, which is Applied English. We have classes on movies, TOEIC, music, being able to talk about the world, talk about Japan, a variety of topics. And those classes, the students from both faculties are together. Then in the 3rd and 4th year, depending on the course that the student takes, they might do some translation, they might study business, English more specifically. But our ALPS course, we wanted to create the course for the top 10% of English language students at our university, regardless of their faculty. So we had an entrance test at the end of the first year in which we asked the students to write an IELTS-style examination question, and we did oral interviews with the students that were also based on an IELTS spoken English test. We'll have this entrance test again at the end of the second year. Hopefully, we have some students that have been overseas and have come back. They might like to join the program later on in the course, so we'd like to give them the opportunity by reopening the admissions again at the end of the second year. And so that's how this ALPS course fits into the whole grander scale. It's not run by a particular faculty. It's run by the English Education Development Centre, and it's one of their programs that fits into the whole grander scheme of the university. So we have 30-week course, 2 90 minutes per week, 1 class with Andy and 1 class with myself. The class is worth 2 credits, and we based the initial class on an academic skills textbook. We work through those alternatively, taking even and odd units. I work in a hall room, and Andy works in a regular classroom. So we're trying to give the students both options. Okay, so skills building. This is what we basically use the textbook for. Reading strategies, listening strategies, your basic skills. And then we lead those into test practice by having the students do mid-semester and end-of-semester tests that are based on IELTS or BULAT style questions. Again, they don't realise they're doing this. They're quite covert. And practical projects, which are basically the main crux of the programme. We have the students working on projects throughout the semester, culminating in big final projects, which I'm going to just introduce you to now. In terms of the academic strand that Andy focuses more on, the whole 15 weeks of the first semester was based towards the students writing their own research project. They came up with their own topics, they studied about research methodology, they presented they collected data, the whole process of being able to write a small academic research paper. They trialled their methods using the students that we had in the English lounge that we have, being able to do interviews in English, interview native speakers. They created a proposal, and then they carried out the project flawlessly. They absolutely blew us away. They were amazing. Some of the topics that they spoke about were foreigners' first impressions of Japan, swine flu and the effects of the media, what employers look for in graduates, YouTube and its effect on lifestyles, and a particularly interesting one, the state of English education in Japan. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And actually Hiroshi might mention that today, I'm not sure. Fascinating presentation. But all of these were from the students. We looked at Rubin's paper and were thinking, how do you create a course that can give all these things to the top 10% of students? And this is what they came up with. We gave them the opportunity to do these things, and they blew us out of the water by being able to do them. So that's the academic strand. The business and kind of professional strand, I focused more on those. Initially, because we were in a computer room, I wanted to take advantage of being able to use the computers and the internet to research. So it took a long time to take away the crutch of using online translators and dictionaries and things like that. But now the students are able to read and digest internet web pages, summarize information in English, take information from Japanese websites, find what they want in English, lots of note-taking skills and things like that. So we started with using the internet as a basis. And then, connected to the textbook, we went through a series of projects. One of the first major project was on globalization and urban planning. So my background is in geography, so I'm particularly interested in urban planning and designing cities, designing this, that and the other. So I was lucky enough to be able to bring some of my experience from that into the course. And the students ended up giving presentations on Olympic bids for an Olympic city. It was topical as well in Japan at the time, and also related to the textbook. But they learned the skills of marketing, of being able to design and create projects and visualize what something could be like, taking a project approach through everything.